Good morning. Right, we are on again. Let's have a look. Doo-doo. Right. So we're starting off with CL. And we're going to look at NQ, and we're going to look at gold. Let's let everybody know we're here. Beep, beep. We need to get some music going as well. Pardon me. Let's get there. Good morning, Peter. Hope you are well. Morning. Right. Oh. What have we got to do here? So we need to... share. Copy link. So won't be a second, guys. I'll just stick this in the Discord now. The God candle. I need to see what that is. And see the bounce in between CL, the daily, and the 1 hour. All right. So CL started the day under the daily, right? So we've come under the daily. We're under the weekly as well. So I've added, so as we each day we'll see the kind of development of the alpha boxes. So here we can see the current 4 hour, the current 1 hour, the daily, and then the weekly, and then somewhere up here will be the monthly, and there's the monthly. So we can set multi-time frame levels. Right now, just using one level, anything above the 4 hour. And then our 4 hour, I need to make it a little bit brighter, just so I can see the 4 hours. Yeah. So here's our 4 hour. And then the previous 4 hour is the daily open. Big move down last night. That was the short that I was looking for. Right, when we were looking at reversing. We expected it to come a little higher. Expected this to be the high for the day. I'd finished trading by that point, and then obviously there's the short. The huge short. Morning, morning, morning. So yeah, so the levels that I've just put on the charts, we've got the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. And I'm just using one level for now for those time frames. And then the 4 and the 1 is where I'll use more intraday. But we still want to see where the daily, or if we have like a previous day that's nearby that could affect price. Remember, those candles are all in play at the moment. So the daily is currently in play. The weekly is currently in play, meaning those boxes are really, really important, which is why I've got them on the chart. Even the yearly, right? So here we can see a nice rejection from the daily, we haven't taken this low yet, but for now, we have continued to take this low and stayed below the daily. This is the first time retracing to the daily, and that's our first rejection. The hourly we've been holding, so it'd be interesting to see whether we now reject from there. 4 hours being a bit messy. We've been under, above. So with it being later on the 4 hour, I would expect this 4 hour to hold in CL. So we'll see. We're way overextended on here. MACD's starting to come under the 0 line, so again we probably will see that go. Maybe we come down. So let's have a look around, find our feet before we start looking at where we want to trade. Okay, so NQ's come back above the daily. And there's our previous 4 hour. I think this is the weekly, so we've come back to the weekly, held the weekly, so this big orange. I think you can't quite see it because the previous 4 hour, the current 4 hours over the, yeah, you see, you can just see, hang on, I'm ruining things. If I just spread it out a bit more, you can just see the weekly, right? It's right in the middle, just happens to be the exact same point. Yeah, so we got our weekly box, which is what we've come back into, right? So we went off bullish. We came back last night inside the weekly, moving away from the weekly again. So we didn't lose it. We've just, I mean, what is that candle? What? The box is working a treat. I'm sorry, I was looking at message. Of all the rest, I took already a 2R trade on euro. Nice. 9R. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't always go back to the previous 4 hour, but it's definitely a level where you often see price. Right? There's the 4 hour. There's the 4 hour. Back to the 4 hour. Often. It'll, if it goes the opposing direction, we'll revisit the previous 4 hour box. Nothing is certain. Well, gold's been very bullish. That's interesting. So we've come above the daily. This was our 4 hour previously. Nice rejections. And then we come above. Current 4 hours bullish, current 1 hour's bullish, and we've come back above the weekly. I want to see this level go for the weekly. So if gold can come up and take this level, then we could be quite bullish for the rest of the week on gold. I mean, it's going to be difficult this week, overall anyway, with the amount of news on tariffs that's going on constantly. I'll go on euro now. You know, markets can change with just one little tweet. Right, let's go on euro USD. Yeah, beautiful, right? Nice rejections, come under here, right? Always say, like, I like to see these sort of trend line breaks when we're correcting underneath, and we break out. Not quite back to the 4 hour yet, but we've come back to at least the liquidity, right? Would have been a nice target. I mean, 2R, buddy, it's a nice trade. Look at that, literally just taps that liquidity and reverses. I mean, these liquidity levels were originally created from Euro USD. So I was just a Euro USD trader when I was when I first transitioned from crypto, I was Euro USD only. When I was doing smart money concepts, that was what I was trading with Photon. And Euro USD was pretty much everything. And then liquidity had just started coming in, really. And then I had an idea for a concept of liquidity, which is what you see on the chart now. Euro USD loves its liquidity levels more than others. So we are way above our daily level on Euro USD. Way above. There's our daily. Let's check out ES. Similar. Thank you. Right, so CL we've rejected from the daily. Beautiful rejection, right? And we're coming back to this 4-hour level. So this is the current 4-hour, which we've not tested yet. We've literally just come flying out of it. We've got 5 more minutes until we got another hour. So we could see a nice trade if we can do this, possibly. But we need to see this 4-hour box fail, because right now we're bullish on the 4-hour, right? Bearish on the 1-hour. Do do do. Yeah, I'm just showcasing the free version. I still use all of MaxAlgo, and these are new developments that we are building for MaxAlgo at the moment. However, this week I'm just showcasing the alpha boxes and how, with the free indicator, how you could trade. But if it was me trading just on my own at the moment or next week, then yeah, I'd be using the algos, trend AI, the percentage probability, right? So we got 60% level liquidity. In fact, let's just do that now while we're on. So NQ is going to have, yeah, so this low, it's the current low of the day, which I don't like using. This is our current 4-hour open. It's our last low. Just taking that liquidity. Let's look at gold. Yeah, so Lazy Boy is still like hugely highly profitable, and I would definitely recommend that that is a model that you follow. It just gives you the opportunity that if you haven't got something in line, you can still work with the alpha boxes, right? So right now we're bullish on all time frames on gold. You know, these are where coming out of these areas here, especially this one being bullish. You can see we're on a sequence 7, so these have been bullish all morning, right? So here is, nice tap back into the alpha boxes. You've had correction over, and we've gone bullish again. Nice rejection. So this would have been a great trade last hour, even out of the signal. See, this is where, you know, if we'd have waited for the lazy boy, right, we'd have not got tapped to the 50%, and we'd have missed that trade. However, here we'd have got the 50%, and then TP. So, you know, it just gives you another way of getting in. But yeah, we're very, very bullish on gold. Higher time frame is bearish though, right? So we've gone through a transition, gone bullish. So it'd be interesting to see if the higher time frame goes bullish. We are overextended, so we are on we've had 7 hours of a bullish trend, right? Bullish trend. So at some point, obviously, we will expect this to have a correction, where we might see this now flip into, for our next hour, we might see this flip to a corrective bullish, and that might give us a new alpha box. Obviously, we'll get a new alpha box in a minute. We could go below, and then possibly we could see a return, you know, a correction. For the moment, liquidity is all the way down the bottom again. We haven't built up much liquidity from the probability point of view. We've just got sort of these levels, but they are not. The liquidity indicator captures trends, and that's not the bottom of the trend. That's the bottom of the trend, and this will be the top of the trend. So I'm just going to put this on gold. I want to see what happens. Nice back up on CL. Below, but let's go to gold. Right, yeah, we've got our weekly, our 4 hour. We've just started our current hour. You know, we're quite far away from the 0 line, but this coming under, we need to, let's just see, have we, no, we're still in a sequence 8, so we need, it'd be great to see that starting to change. But EMA's crossing over, sorry, moving averages. If we are going to have a bullish 4 hour, there's a good probability this high goes anyway. By the way, alpha boxes are MaxAlgo. It is exactly the same product, just another feature of MaxAlgo. So all of the guys that are already in will already get access to alpha boxes. It's already included. It'd be a bit tight if we then had people go on a lifetime product and then went, oh, you know what, this is a different product. No, it's all part of the same thing. It's just it's another way of trading, right? It's a simpler way of trading with support and resistance, but then you add that. If you came on the educational video yesterday, did a huge part about like MaxAlgo's, what is MaxAlgo? MaxAlgo's all around probability, right? And in the research of probability, we found that what gives you the highest probability for a candle, so when a candle is forming, the outcome of a candle, bullish or bearish, wasn't what happened previously, right? So this hour is not impacted greatly by this previous hour. We might get a small advantage, 54, 56%, right? Maybe a little bit higher, but we don't get what I would say an edge. What impacts the outcome of a candle is what's happening during the formation of that candle. And that is the ethos of MaxAlgo. I know, cutting the grass. So it is all about, is it a plane? Yeah. So it's all about kind of the formation of a candle, right? And alpha boxes are around the formation of a candle. It's all the same thing, all the same concept, just all coming together. It's a beautiful short. We've got liquidity below, 72%. We are corrective bullish. So you can see this is a sequence 2. So this would have been your corrective bullish sequence 1. With your high probability, this would have been a fucking epic trade out of the 50%, stop above, liquidity below, alpha box below, smashed, right? So you can see how much more confidence this has given us. So the 4 hour is currently corrective as well. I'm going to keep on gold. I was just. Yeah, so you see gold's starting to go, right? So this is the trade that I was looking for. We are up against that weekly. And we got this previous hour. So this is our previous hour. This is where we're just currently bouncing off. Remember, our 4 hour is down here on gold and bullish. Nice rejection from the current hour. And we're only 5 minutes in, we've got plenty of time. Just a sec while the aeroplane comes past.
Sounds like one of those small aircraft.
I know. I don't know how much of the hoovering of the grass outside you can hear. But it's bloody loud in here. So hourly stats, right? For gold, if we're going to go bearish, there's our bearish highs. So within the first 10 minutes, the last 184 bearish candles, 60% of the time the high's been in the first 10 minutes. It's 6 minutes past. Possibly could be our high. Bullish, 64%. So it'd be nice to see the low go, right? That low goes after 10 minutes, gives us much more high probability that this is our high for the hour. We're not at the zero line yet, so you know how much I love going under the zero line. That's a huge part for me. I might take a little stab at this. Let's see. Do 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 do. So I think, you know, obviously we need to remember we're bullish on the 4 hour, right? And we've come up. So we're not expecting potentially a massive reversal. We've got 200 here, possibly. This could be our liquidity level here. So I'd probably look take partial around here. We've got this weekly level. Let's have a look. Hang on. Let's just see if we can find some more levels. Here we go. Right. So, yeah, so we've got this potential liquidity. It's not got a level on it. It would do if I changed the time to a minute. Want to see is if we take the high. We are 8 minutes in. Right, so we've taken the high. So possibly could be going bullish. See if we'd now want to see this logo. Still in the first segment, right? So all of this is still in the first segment. We start our correction. Let's just put this on just in case. While we're waiting for that, let's have a quick look at... So NAS has come back under. Doing a similar thing. CL. New hour. We've dropped out of. It's a bit... See how we've just rejected from this previous level on the hour. So... That's the current 4 hour. Don't like the position of that. Let's look at Euro again. That was very bearish. I'd rather have a bullish hour on gold. Oh, that's a nice tap in on the Euro. So I'd could look at something like this. It's already come quite far down, right? So even if it was just a small trade like that, down to the next level. Let's see if we can't do that. 60. Dee 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 dee. Fucking, can I find the contract? Ah, finally. Right. Right, see how this trade plays out. Stop. We could use all the boxes, or the current hour, whatever it is that you fancy doing. Yeah, I'm not too aggressive on what's happening. Where are we on gold? Nice shoot up from gold, right? Um, so when we took the high, we're now expecting good probability for this to be our low. So if we're going to go bearish, we want to see that go. We are still under. Anyway, let's concentrate on euro. Oh, I was on that one. We have come quite far down. So I'm not expecting, you know, like massive run. That's why I'm just looking to take us down to this next level, right? And we could take it just to the edge or just inside or previous, you know, but I think kind of I'm just looking for another tap back down. Yeah, I don't think there's any wrong going with BE, Aaron. You've already taken the short, right? We're a little late to the party coming down at this point, but I think right now that's worth a shot, right? We're bearish on the algo for euro. Gold, we're bullish. Remember when we had a look at it? Bullish, bullish, bullish. We are coming above. If we go on euro, where's my set of euros? There we go. We haven't got a huge probability on the hour, but the 1 hour and the 2 hour are, 2 hour especially is more bearish. This is the 4 hour. 4 hours not changed yet. Looks like we'll get stopped. If we take this high, we're 16 minutes in, which means our low for euro is in segment 1. 62% probability. Quite a strong pullback. If you're not in, I wouldn't be getting in. Just going to check on gold. I think that's going to hit our stop anyway. Yeah. Coming back above. Nice correction. We expect this high to go on the 4 hour, right? Ah, damn. That would have been a nice trade, but we didn't quite make it back, but still. This looks like we're gonna get a completion, which might just go mad because it's already quite bullish. Do 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 do. I mean, gold just looks like it's just going to run. This looks like it's going to cross. We expect this high to go for the 4-hour bullish. Just wick the high, which I don't like. How are we feeling about today, guys? What day we got today? We got news today, haven't we? It's Wednesday. It's a big news day today, I think. It's
FOMC meeting minutes.
Oh, it's FOMC meeting minutes tomorrow then.
Yes, it's not big news today.
Is it tomorrow? Or Friday?
Yeah,
CPI tomorrow, yeah. So, you know, if you're not happy about the trade, now would be the time to take your risk off, get out. Or even just reduce your position. See this now? Just wondering if we're going to get a bounce. Come on. Back below the box though, which is great. No levels. Nothing. So I definitely reduced my stop to here anyway. I've taken half the position off at break even just to reduce risk. Just with us coming up and wicking that high. I still want to leave the trade running though because we're still under. I've just reduced risk. That's all. I think gold's probably gone to the moon, is it? Let's have a look. Oh no. Hold in. Not quite crossed yet. So remember our 4-hour candle here has put in a high in the first hour and 10 minutes. Now, statistically, for a bullish candle, a 4-hour bullish candle, it's more likely that the highs of the bullish candle are put in later. So like in the last hour and a half, has the highest probability for that. This could be quite a nice little scalp because we look like we're just going to pop. Stops you'd have to go behind here. Feel like might do that. Gold. Good to go. We'll see. Where's Euro gone? Let's check Euro. I think it's coming back on us. Back inside the box. So we're just putting in this correction. Even if it's a little bit of a fake out. There's the bounce I was talking about. Looks like we'll just probably bounce. So a couple of things on Euro. I mean, it's probably worth. So we've got negativity against us as well, right? So here we closed above the 50%, meaning that statistically we have a higher probability of taking this high, which is not great. We are very bearish. We are more bearish on the 2-hour and the 1 hour. We are up against this level of resistance though. So it's not, we haven't got everything surrounding us, right? We haven't got loads of probability in our favor. We've got 30 minutes left of our 4-hour, our 2 and our 1. So it's this really, this needs to correct. If we can see this correct, then maybe we can carry on. Otherwise, it's one of those trades, reduce risk or get out. It's not playing as it should, or as we would want. Right, much cleaner, statistics in our favor, same trade. We've just come down a lot further, so it might just be that we need to mess around for an hour before maybe we get a continuation, but we'll see the next 4-hour kick in and see. Sorry about the noise today. Should we put some music on? Oh. Right, let's stop getting tapped on Euro. Stop check. Yeah. So we're out on euro. Gold's coming back. That rejection off the daily. Maybe sending us right back for a new low. We got half an hour until we get another 4-hour candle. NQ. Nice rejection off the hourly. There's the daily. I like NQ. If we can break this daily level, right? Even here. That's where I'd have been looking. Nice rejection. Down to the daily. I think the daily's going to go. We'll see. So that's that perfect. Remember we talk about when we come under and we get that correction. I mean, that's perfect, right? Tap back into resistance and drop. Let's see how the daily holds up. Yeah. We could take a little tap back. Maybe we could take something like this. Obviously, ideally, these rejections would have been a nice one to get in on. Even if it was here, right? When you get this breakdown, stop above. Nice little tap back. Beautiful reaction, right? Right off our entry, using the previous candle wick, came up, filled, reject, sorry, and then even from this point here, right, you could be getting break even now, taking this low, there's a nice drop. right? So with these lows going, especially this one, stop should be at break even. And then we've got obviously profits to be taken. Anywhere around these lows, you could take a bit of profit if you wanted. And then we are looking at this sort of previous level here, where we might end the trade or let it run. We've got our 200. Here's our previous 4 hour. I mean, obviously, if you wanted to leave one running, potentially we could see a return to here. It'd have to come all the way under. But you just want to make sure you've taken some profit. But that's still a great trade, right? We're still 2R up. You would have had 2R done. 3R on this if we're looking to take it to this level. Yeah. Hang about. So, yeah, 2.3R so far. I'd have definitely taken some profit at this level here, right? Once this one's gone. This has been at least TP1. Stop should well be break even now after taking profits. So either way, you've had a bit of profit taken, at least 50% at that point. And then if it comes back, taps us, comes back and taps us. It's not a problem. Remember, we are above the 0 line. And while we're above the 200, we're still bullish. If we look at NQ from here, we see we get our red box, right? So if we're using MaxAlgo's full suite, at this point here, you have a 74% probability that price is going to take this low. You're bearish on dynamic TP, you're under the 0 line. You haven't got the algo aligned. However, you have got all of these other confluences. And you can see here's a previous hour where we're currently sat, right? So that tap out of there is a really high probability trade. So even if you're taking the rejection with your stop above the current high of the hour, that's fine. You can use that. And then taking it down to these levels, no problem. Even just here, 1.5R, but that is an absolute killer trade with probability around, right? You can see the box is showing you red, indicating a high probability. The low goes, same thing here, right? High probability, high goes. Won't be a second, let me just take this. Hello? Hi mate, you alright? Okay, no worries. Let me just, I'll let my wife know. Cheers mate, bye. Yeah. High probabilities. So we're back in the daily. Trade should be risk off. So you can just see, obviously, like this is the light version. So you're using, you know, what is a free version, right? which is great. You then couple that with the rest of MaxAlgo, and it just gives you all those high probabilities. So I will go back to trading the whole thing, probably next week now. Right, we've got 20 minutes till we got a new hour. CL coming back up into the 4 hour. Again on CL, we would expect now this to hold and maybe drop down. We are getting quite a getting that sort of correction going on, because this is our current 4 hour level, right? So we've taken the low, we've come back up, tapped back up into our box 4 hour, and then potentially we could see this go. Right, we don't want to see price coming back above this level, then we're going bullish, right? We want to see price come below, come back, reject, and then continue while we're bearish. And when we're bullish, we want to see price come up, hold these levels, continue on, come back and hold the level, and then we flip bearish, we lose, and they become resistance, and then we drop back, right? See what gold's up to. So gold's back to our hour, came back to our hourly box. Struggled to make a new high. Just correcting on a higher time frame. So we're correcting sideways at the moment. So again, this low, really important to see that low go if we're going to go bearish. Otherwise we might just correct along and then eventually carry on and go bullish. So NQ coming back up. Remember, we are above, right? Higher time frame above. So we are expecting, like we looked at that correction for the short, right? In the same way, we expect that potentially this is a bearish correction, which it is, but we could continue on bullish. Which is why when we're above the zero line, we're bullish. We're taking shorts. We're definitely taking profits. When we come above the zero line, we're more bullish, right? This is where we're expecting corrections, continuation, corrections, continuation. You can see here, right? We get correction, correction, continuation. And then we start that same thing again, correction, continuation, and then we go into a deeper correction. And right now we're still under that zero line, right? So for this to continue, MACD's got to come back above the zero line, and then maybe that correction's over on dynamic TP, and we can continue on up. So these are key things when you're trading the free version, right? You want to be looking for. When we are above, we are predominantly more bullish in our head, unless, right, the MACD comes under, and then we can have a little bit more bearishness to it, like in this correction here. We got that nice correction. However, Do not forget the higher time frame, the dynamic TP is above. So with CL, right, that correction under has now taken us under the 0 line. So we are more bearish than we are bullish, as where NQ's holding above. So here, when we come above, you can see we get that bullish move, start correcting, then we get this, the MACD comes under, fails to come back above, and we get that nice volatility. And then we'll see what happens now, whether we continue or we get a little correction, dribble back up. But this here, same thing, this is what you're expecting, right? We're above, correction back into support, hold, take liquidity. Same thing, same thing. Obviously at some point a trend will end, right? At some point a trend will end, but you can see here's where it starts last night, right? Get off first correction, carry on bearish. We got our next correction, right? Carry on bearish. Same thing again. Same thing again. Same thing again. And then it fails and we go above the 0 line, and then we expect potentially we're starting that bullish. Then we correct again, come under, stay a bit bearish, but we fail to take this low, showing that now maybe we're flipping more bullish. And then when we come above this one here, see how this lovely correction, right, on the MACD, showing us that potentially we break out, it's going to take us up, we hold and return back to that 4 hour. So it's just, that's how you want to be kind of viewing it. So NQ, MACD now coming back above, so maybe this deeper correction's over. Probably need another 15 minutes. Need to see the new hourly start, and if the new hourly starts above its alpha box, we can look at a long, right? There's gold. Nice reaction out. All right. ES, very similar. Didn't come back up to its 1 hour though. Back to the weekly. Same thing again, right? We're above. We're expecting this correction. We're starting to come over the MACD. So we could expect this to continue. Maybe you might see the 4 hour just taken in time. I don't think so, but we'll get a new 4 hour and we'll see. Still feel like we've got a little correction back down. Nothing massive. So for me now, I want to see the next 4 hour and the hourly open bullish. So we open above the 4 hour, we open above the 1 hour, and then we can look to take this correction finishing out and on. But these are a great trade, right? When we come under, you get that really clean correction back into resistance and then reject and down. Same thing when we come above, right? Lots of new prop firms popping up at the moment, actually, I've noticed. I don't know if anyone else has noticed it. There's a lot more coming about, especially around the instant funding side. And yeah, I've seen quite a few popping up. I haven't used, I've only ever used Top Step, Apex, My Funded Futures. That's it really. I haven't used others, but there are some other ones that look quite good. If any of you guys ever used an instant funding, say that again. That didn't come out quite right. If any of you used an instant funded prop firm, how's your experience been? That's Tradeify. That's one. What else have we got? So just come back above on the MACD. This hour we're still below, right? See the bounce? We don't get that nice continued correction. Just bounce in. So I'd be we are under the zero line though, but I'd just be we want to be a little bit careful. So if you remember, I said I still expect some sort of little correction until we start that new hour and that new 4-hour candle. Really important, the formation of a candle, right? Really, really important. Another good one to have on is fairly higher time frame candles. You can add that on for free. Get rid of these. Bearish. I should do the spacing. So this is our 4-hour, this is our 1 hour, right? So come back and filled our 1 hour. So then on here, we just hide the 4 hours. And then I'm just going to unextend the boxes. So there's the low of our previous hour, right? This one. And then there's the high of the previous hour. You can see how they're lining up. So our 4-hour has been bearish. And then the current 4 hours broken up. So this is why I say when you're going against the previous time frame, right? So we're going short against a bullish candle. You know, we don't want to be always aiming just for like taking the low of the previous bullish candle, right? Because right now it could just be a retracement, like you see a lot of the time here. We have this bearish candle, right? We refill close back to the previous, right? Like here. So that's why when you're shorting and you're looking at the previous candle, that's why we're looking, taking profits like at the previous 4-hour level. Now, because of this candle here, this massive candle, which I don't know what that is, it just pushed it too far away. Otherwise, you know, you probably could have seen a tap back into the alpha box on the hourly, the previous hour, like we do on the 4-hour, very similar. So we're currently back up again. See how we're over now? We're expecting this correction to be over. Dynamic TP is almost there, but we need to see a new hour and a new 4-hour, right? So let's put our 4 hours back on, but let's just lower them to the last 3. So our current 4-hour. No, it's our current 4-hour. It's our previous 4-hour. So I know we were pushing a little bit under it, but again, that could have been you. That's why we were looking at a take profit inside of it. Even then, even just that low potentially could have just been it, right? For 1.6R, or even just pushing it for 2, if you were to get it. Probably a bit greedy on that distance, but that's why we have take profits at these levels. Okay, nice. Back up to the hourly. Nice rejection. Looks like we are going to cross. We've got 5 more minutes. Just going to hide these now. So this is why these levels are so important, right? You can see this was created before any of this happened. And it's just that beautiful rejection back in. And look how price is reacting at the moment, straight from that same level. Nice tap. Remain bullish, still above the 0 line. Right, we're currently in my brain's not working this morning. Here and here. Sideways action. Whatever what's it called?
Choppy.
Not called choppy choppy. Range, thank you. Fuck, Jesus, man, alive. Just in this range at the moment. Not choppy choppy. However, we are above, so potentially it's just accumulation for a continuation. We'll see. Right now we need a new hour, right? And we'll see what that new hour and new 4-hour bring. There you go, CL. We failed. See here on where it was failing, it bounced. Straight through. Unlike that one, we got that confirmation straight through. So where we rejected from here, when we came back up here and came below, that's where your stop should have gone to break even. If it's coming down now, we expect that low to go. If it's not, then you want to take risk off, because we expect trades to react in the right direction. Oh, so we've got 3 minutes left. Dynamic TP is just changing. Looks like we might just pushed through this current hourly box. This is our current hourly high. So is euro, possibly just a higher time frame correction here on euro. Still under the 0 line. We need to see the MACD come under for potential that continuation. See what the new 4 hour brings. That's not the euro chart that I use. Where's the euro chart that I use? Here you go. So we took half off. So we've took half an hour when we came back down here. Reduced risk. So we still lost, but it was half an hour. Ding 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 ding. And then on NQ, took 50% off here, so we just made a little bit more. We'll just say half an hour again. And then CL, I didn't take that trade even though I marked it up. Bing, 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 bing. I want to see that logo. So NQ, we've got a new hour now. We've started, right? So we didn't take the previous hour high, which is fine. So that stayed intact. We've now got a new 4 hour and a new 1 hour. So really important. Let's see. So our 4 hours still currently starting bullish. Corrective bearish, which is bullish. At the moment, 38% probability of a bearish candle, more bullish. So we are holding off. And obviously that's just showcasing. We had this previous hour, right? A previous 4 hour level. Bearish, tap back in. That was the trade. If you were to follow it. Now we're starting under. Remember we open. So either we're putting in a wick or we've put in our wick above, but we are below at the moment. This is going to be interesting. So remember, this is our thought we had a new 4 hour candle. Oh no, we've still got an hour left. That must have been euro. Euro's got a new 4 hour candle, has it? Yeah. So euro started a new 4 hour candle. Fucking confusing me. Got this correction. Looks like this might now be over. So that euro short possibly could play in now. See how we're coming back above the 0 line. Had that nice correction. We want to see this go bullish, right? Still got an hour left. We just expect highs to be taken. It's difficult to say where. Euro. Fucking Euro chart. Right. So see, we've got that same, we're still under. Just gives us that bearish. Correction. Just took a little longer than what we hoped. You can see now, just moved too fast. Wanted a little bit more structure. We are tapping back up. We are coming below. Do I want to do something like this? .74R. Or do I want to wait for a revisit? It's a little risk. 3.29R. Yeah, let's do that. All right, we're going a little bit lower. So what I want to see now is just a little correction, tap, and then a continuation with this trend. When this low goes, I'll take stop to break even. Here. That's it. Push. If I'd have been a bit quicker, we could have gotten a little higher. Doesn't matter. NQ's just not going to be my mate today, is it? Not NQ. Yuri. Come on. I was going to say, don't want to miss NQ long. I've got time. There's only 6 minutes. And we can see whether we come back here as well. That's 6.8 ticks. It's only 4.5. That's done. Let me just check to make sure. Not having a good day today. Yeah, it's done. Right, let's see how we react on the 4 hour. Keep an eye on NQ as well. So what I need is a decent 2-3 hour trade. Yeah. If I want to go long, I need to see this flip and tap back in. Wait for 20 minutes, see what that says as well. Let's check on Euro. Okay, not quite made it back. You're a dick, Euro. Sorry. 8 minutes in. Let's see if we can test our... Let's just highlight this. Possible if we could flip and return back to this previous 4-hour box, maybe. Got a fair value gap here on the hourly. That was a bullish hour. So previous hour high. Let's see. Maybe. We haven't got a wick for this current hour either, if you notice. $11 minutes in. So right now we expect our high or low. There's a good chance that's in for the current hour. So if we do take that high, we can expect that to, on the hourly at least, to be our low. And possible chance that's our low for our 4-hour as well, because the hourly might flip as well. See if we can take this high, come above, maybe. We can then look for a long, but we're still rejecting at the moment. Considering a cheap trade, but not yet. Does feel like we might just flip this, right? Come up. Okay. So now we've put a wick. We're above the box. That's starting to come up. I am going to go long on that one. Hang on. It'll be here. Stop below. And maybe we can look for the highs. So we're going to come up. Options to here, but we're going to go first level here. And if not, I'll call that a day today if we get hit again. That'll be 2 hour down for day. That'll be enough. So here's 1.5. Here's the 3R that ideally I was talking about that I need. Here's possible runners. I am still conscious that we're under on here, but obviously MACD is coming back above. Could just come up into this fair value gap, possibly. I'm going to miss the NQ long now. I'm not going to be able to take it, am I? Stupid euro. Okay, so we've come above on NQ. It's not looking very strong though. We are rejecting inside of here. We do expect that now potentially to be our low. 11 minutes in. So good chance this is our low. Nice tap in the box. It's worth a little trade, right? Stop below. Taking highs. Let's carry on with our euro trade. Hardly trade euro unless it's liquidity. Normally just trade liquidity. All right. Nice push out. No, you need to, yeah, I mean, obviously that's, you've got to manage yourself, right? Can't be jumping in everywhere. We've got to have limits. When do we stop? I need to put -1 on there. Come on. Oh my god, come on. Just tap that eye. I mean, ideally, I haven't got as much time with you today. I'd like to wait to see whether this correction then becomes bearish, right? And then we continue in the direction we're going. Let's see if we can't just take this, get this trade done. Come on, Enki. What do you want to do? It's just struggling, right? Same with the Fs. Yeah. Remember, sideways on gold. We're expecting potentially this continuation. Sideways with gold. Like with euro, we are right now, we're still anticipating that we might go bearish again. Come on. Right, stop to break even for me at this point. I don't want to see it come back on us now. This has been the retest. I want to see this high go. I'm not just looking to go break even for the day, right? Obviously, we could have taken our 1R and just gone, hey, we're break even for the day. I'm not looking to do that. I am looking to trade where I would want to see price go anyway, regardless what the previous outcome was. Just checking if I can find some other levels. Oh, we need to extend boxes. Just struggling with that level. Looks like we might just get BE'd. See? I'm alright, right? So see, we come back and we test. It's like that reaction out. We don't want to see this reaction back. Want to see price breakthrough. Just kept us in. Just want to see this high go. And obviously, if you wanted to leave a runner, possibly back to this previous 4 hour. Let's see if we can get off. Even 2.6, something like that, I don't know. Let's see. Looks like we're going to get break even anyway. Oh. Today's one of those days for me that either way, when this trade is over, I'll be glad when this trade is over. I've had a good couple of days.
You were on for about 9 hours yesterday as well.
Yeah, it was a long day yesterday. You know, might take a look at the charts later on. I'm down 1R for the day. 2R for me is done. Yeah, so that's break even. I'm not feeling it like I do when I come on the charts normally. This, yeah, still looking good. But anyway, I'd rather not just go crazy and try and win back everything. Why isn't this working? Here we go. Not super clean. So Euro does close above the 50% in the 20 minutes, meaning that we're more likely to have a bullish hour, right? We're 50-50 on the hourly, a little bit more bearish, and the 4 hour is bullish, right? So we are expecting this high to go based on MaxAlgo and some of the stats we've got in MaxAlgo. But we're just under as well, right? We can see this is a lot more corrective than this move down. So we can expect a strong move down, a little bit of messing around, and then potentially a continuation, which is where I would rather play the trade, right? I was looking more for, can we get a short? Might be the next hour now, right? Maybe we go bearish, next hour starts bearish, and we can get that short down. I can't hang around on the charts all day. Got stuff to do. CL. Higher time frames are bearish. 4 hours bearish. Sorry, bullish. We have got this hour. We have got high probability of taking this high, and we are tapping back into here. But you can just see we're coming over. So what you would expect here is, obviously this is based on probability, right? So right now we've got a 62% probability of the hour closing bullish. The first 20 minutes we've closed above the 50%. So, you know, you've got good probability of that trade. However, if you look at the MACD, look how it's coming down and the weakness, right? You could wait for this to show some sign of potentially not going to correct under. But even then, you know, you've got 62% probability. You're above the open, you've closed above the open and above the box for the first 20 minutes, giving you probability to the upside, as well as this and this. It's just this here. I'd want to see weakness as we come back to this box. I want to see weakness and a reason why price would reject, to then maybe then we can get in, right? And then look to come take this high, or even this liquidity above. But this is showing strength to the downside at the moment. Right, NQ. So same thing with NQ. Look, we've got our 20 minutes bearish to pose in the algo, but we are coming under. See the 50% mark, 74% probability this low goes, tap back in the box. It was that same trade, right? Dynamic TP is now the same color. So this is a good trade. Stupid euro. We'd have waited on NQ. We'd have had a nice trade here. Right, see that? Below the 50%. You see how MaxAlgo just adds that extra level of confidence in directional bias as well. But yeah, could have taken it from here, looking to take back to the daily, possibly. I haven't got the daily on here. I'll add it on. Next week we will trade everything all aligned, so we'll put the probabilities back on. Right, we'll look for these sort of trades. Nice, 20% high probability, tap back in, and away we go. Same thing here. Yeah, so CL's just gone through. See how the strength in that, we haven't had any weakness yet. We're just at the low. So if this goes now, that's very, very bearish. This comes back under. Could see CL come in for these lows. One final look at euro. So the 4 hours bullish on euro, and we've just had a new 4 hour, right? And we've just got a new 4 hour. We've taken the high. So this is, it's still not a bad trade on euro, right? Just a little bit more corrective. But even here, 50% to 1 hour trade. Back to this high. You can see we're blue, we're above, right? It's not a bad trade. And we've got this level of support right through the middle. We just couldn't get that lift off that we wanted earlier on. Right, I think more bullish on euro for now. Gold, we've come above, just sideways, remember. Might just still stay in this range. Need to see which way we break, really. But dynamic TP comes under the 0 line will be a key thing. But just look how long it's taken for this. And we've just continued to make stay in this range. So yeah, I'm more bullish on gold at the moment than I am bearish. Dynamic TP is bullish as well. Trend AI is bullish, so. And then NQ. We are still above the 0 line. We have transitioned bullish. We are bullish, so it's just careful on the shorts, basically. So obviously this trade, here's your high probability level, right? From here to here, that's 74%, that's happened. And now you're playing the hourly stats in that we don't expect this to be the low of an hour, so we would expect this to go. In the last half an hour is where most of the lows are found, so you've probably got about a 74% probability if this hour is going to be bearish that we take that low. You just got things against you being above. Trend AI has gone bullish. The algo is saying there's a 62% chance of this hour being bullish. 2 hour is more bullish. 2 hours coming to an end. Where's the 2 hour? So this will be the 2 hour. So the 2 hour, if the 2 hour is going to close bullish, needs to close above that level. Is more bearish though in the way that it's been. And the 4 hour is currently bullish. So the 4 hour we know is going to close bullish because it's all the way from down here. This new 4 hour could be a great trade on NQ in the direction that it picks, because if it picks bearish we could see it return back to that previous 4 hour here. If it goes bullish we might see that continuation. We have just transitioned, so the next 4 hour candle is going to be key. Right, it's 10:30. I've got to go today, unfortunately. Can't stay on as long as I have been. Got work to do. We need to catch up on some of the work that we didn't do yesterday because of the lives. Remember to always, keep yourself controlled. Have rules on how many trades, how much you can lose, and all that sort of thing. Don't want to be going mad. And reduce risk, right? If something's not right, take some off, reduce your stop. That's kind of like the main thing that I do most of the time. Most of my time is, waiting if I'm trying to find a trade, and then when I get a trade, it's just about managing risks as much as possible. Keep myself in the game. So, other than that, guys, and be in the Discord. I'm going to be... still got 1R to use. I do like this, but I'm not going to take it. This was the trade from here, right? I'll take a look later on, see if I can find something really. I'm going to wait now with my 1R until I've got everything aligned. I want to see the algos, the first 20 minutes, 4 hour, just everything. And then I'm going to look to potentially take a trade out of that. Similar to this one, really. But other than that, guys, thanks very much for joining. We're back on tomorrow, same time. Let's see if we can do a little bit better. -1 for the day on the stream. Still up on the week, though. We had a really good week. Good 2 days so far. Probably look about 3-4 are up for the week. But other than that, guys, take care, and I will see you tomorrow.